going to pass it straight to him. So a little bit of a background about Joe. I know everyone is so excited to see you. You're like a freaking superstar over here, Joe. We love you. I'll let him introduce himself, but he is just someone who's like, I love his journey and I love his persistence, and also I love that he's a guy. Let's just point it out. He is a guy doing the business, and we need more guys in this industry, especially, no, sorry, in Arbor, not the industry. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Joe, your superstar. And yeah, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Awesome. Oh, let me put my phone on silent. Yes, I'm a guy through and through. First of all, I just want to say a big thank you, Emily and the team, for having me on tonight. I have two other trainings on later on, but I would rather be here first because I can feel and see the momentum that everyone is in. And let me tell you one thing, when you are in momentum, you need to run with it, because I can speak to it authentically from last year. So a little backstory about me. I started Arbonne in 2020, just before the pandemic hit. And for those of you who heard my story in Vegas, it was very much stop and start. Why? Because I didn't see someone like myself, and I didn't see another male running their business. So I let that affect me and hold me back for many years. Fast forward to last year, July, I made the decision I'm going to go, this time last year, I was in Vegas, and I had no team, I had no business, no clients, no nothing. And I was going to Vegas simply because, obviously, I'm going to frickin' Vegas. And then Arbonne Conference was second. And honestly, that was my mindset. When I got to Vegas, everything changed for me, my perspective. I got to sit with great leaders who are at the top of this business. I got to see men at the top of this business. And I was like, okay, it's a possibility, and I can actually do it if I put my mind to it. So I left Vegas after, has anyone here been to Vegas yet? Just Emily? Okay, yep. Cool, we'll go next year. Well done, everyone, for making that decision right here, right now. So I came home, and my mindset shifted because I actually got to sit at the table with amazing people who I got to speak with, have deep and truthful conversations with love punches that I needed to hear, which is why I give a lot of love punches now. I came home and I started working mainly on my personal development, and that's where I needed to start. And I didn't want to acknowledge that I needed to work on myself. It was my pride. I was so prideful, and I was like, nah, I don't need that. I don't need PG, blah, 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 blah. But actually I did. So I started listening to podcasts because I'm not a reader. Let me tell you that. I can read books, but I lose interest so fast. So I'd rather listen to it. It was in my car. I switched out my music for podcasts. During my breaks at work, it was podcasts. When I was walking, podcasts, working out, podcasts. Everything was podcasts for me because it's what helped my personal growth, and it was what I aligned with. In this business, you have a lot of people say you need to do this, this, and that. The way I coach my team is you need to do something that you align yourself with, that you can relate with, and something that works with you. Because you can read books for months on end and not get anything from it, but you can listen to a podcast and just feel the fire straight away. And when you have that momentum, again, run with it. So then I started working my business. People saw my personal growth. And I say this with a humble heart. I haven't had to reach out about the business ever. People came to me because of the growth that they had seen in the last 6 months of last year. And that's where I started to build my team. And I started to promote up district managers. I then earned my very first AIT, and I went area manager. So from July to December, you can see the momentum that is possible. And that's like right now, from July now until December 2023, anything is possible and anything can happen. I went from no team, no client, no business to well over 50. And now today I've got over 100 clients, and I'm a male, and I've got 14 ICs, and I'm hitting my bonus consecutively every month. I'm trying to chase Emily for the area manager bonus, but we will get there. So yeah, anything is possible. And for a male in an industry where it is, I would say 98% female, like there is no excuse. And let me tell you, when I was in Vegas, I got to sit with the Amish ladies who are at the top. They're Amish. They've got no technology. Like, what is our excuse? They do it verbally. They do it in-person events, and they use what they have to get to where they need to be. So I was like, cool. My mindset has shifted again, because I always complain, oh my gosh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Yet I sat with the Amish ladies who are at the top, and they've got no technology whatsoever. So Emily asked me to speak on mindset, which for me, it is very important when you are in this business. And we have days where we feel stuck. We have days where we feel that we've depleted our network and what we can do. And do not give in to those negative thoughts and then let that become your reality for the day or for the rest of the week or for the rest of the month. Because again, your mindset sets the tone for your day, for your week, for your month ahead. How many times have we woken up and we're like, oh, I don't want to get up. It sucks. It's a Monday, blah, blah, blah. You're already feeding your mind these negative thoughts. And let me tell you, when I get up in the morning, I sit up despite the negative thoughts, and I'm yelling out affirmations. My parents probably think I'm crazy, but I'm like, today is going to be a great day. I'm going to find my ace. I'm going to find new clients, rah. And every month I'm building my team. And every month I'm bringing on new PCs, 3 years into the business, and 1 year since I've started fully 100% last year. So do not wake up and make that your reality, okay? I hope that makes sense. Does it make sense, guys? Cool. For me, the way I run my business, and a lot of people ask me, how do you bring on new people? How are you reaching out and rah. Like I said again, it was my personal growth that brought people to me, and it's still happening today. Like today I got a message like, hey, I just love your growth. I want to sign up as an IC on Thursday. And I was doing my reach outs. I was like, what the heck? And that wasn't even a business reach out. Also, changing one thing that I will say, I did a training last week for my team and a few others, and it was shifting your mindset on this business, or having a different perspective. So the way I see the business is I would say it's from a man's point of view, because you females are all the same. Nah, not all the same. But this is just a male's perspective. And where are my notes? Look, I've even got my notes all written, ready to go. What was it? Focus on the opportunity, not the obligation. A lot of times in this business, you feel like, oh my gosh, I've got to do reach outs about the business. Oh my gosh, I've got to do reach outs on the products. Oh my gosh, I've got to follow up with this. You're focusing on the obligation, but when you have another perspective of the opportunity side of things, that's been the most successful for me. So for the business reach outs, we're like, oh my gosh, I've got to do it. Well, what can this business reach out do for someone? An extra $300 to thousands of dollars. About the product, oh my gosh, I've got to do a product reach out. Well, the opportunity there is, what will the products do for the person that liked your post, the person that voted on your post? So it's just having that shift of mindset on, do not focus on the opportunity. Do not focus on the obligation, but focus on the opportunity. So that's another way that you can run this business. And having self-discipline with your time, how much time you spend on your business. If you're going to spend 5% of your time on your business, you're going to get 5% back. I'm here to tell you the truth, okay? You cannot expect to spend 5 minutes of your day and then think, oh my gosh, I'm an ENVP. No, when I sat with those leaders, they put in their time and effort into it. Also, this is one thing, it's not a trick. This is how I do it. And some people are uncomfortable to talk about it, but it's the money side of things. Your pay, self-discipline with your pay. For those of you who followed me, you had seen that I spoiled my mum last week or the week before. I took her on a shopping spree, and that's what I spend my Arbonne pay on, is my family. And instead of saying, oh my gosh, I got this amount of money, rah, 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 I put it out there that I took my mum for a shopping spree. I sent money to Samoa to help my family in Samoa. You know, we put a shipping container together full of stuff with our Arbonne pay. And then people came to me and said, oh my gosh, is that what you spend your money on? I was like, yep, that's what I spend my money on. And then that's how they start. Some of them started their business just from that. But it wasn't, I wasn't focusing on the obligation. I was focusing on the opportunity, and that's what the opportunity of an extra income can do. Not taking money away from your 9 to 5 or your part-time, but, you know, utilizing your Arbonne pay for many reasons, right? A lot of people join the business for extra money to pay the mortgage, shopping, groceries, spend it on their kids. If you have kids, or if you have a mortgage or things like that, use that as an opportunity for your business reach outs. You guys look bored. Are you guys all right? Does that make sense? Yes? Cool. Yes, business opportunities. Yeah, and for me, what I've done now to really keep my PCs alive and well and fresh is I do a PC referral program. And I teach that to my team as well, because now I feel like I've kind of exhausted my network. So what do? I reach out into other people's network as well. So my PCs that I have now, I reach into their warm markets. So when I was in, Emily would know as well, we hear this all the time, in the United States, they host a lot of parties in-house, and I see Haley do it too. And what they do is when that host it, they invite 4 people, and then they do like a gift packet or gift pack, and they say, whoever out of you 4 would like to host a party, you would get this pack. And always you'll either get 2 or 1 person from that, and they bring in their network. When you go and host a party at their house, you do the same thing. And it's like tree roots, many roots. You're reaching into many pockets. And I don't do in-house events because I'm like, do males even do in-house events? I know, mindset, change that mindset. Everybody's got to come for me. Yeah, mindset. Here we go. I will do it. And yeah, so with the referrals program, what I do is every time someone refers me to their network and they successfully buy the GGGs or something from it, I'm always gifting them either the bottle or 2 face masks or something. That's an investment that I choose to do, that I've been able to bring on new PCs every month since last year. And if you saw me, I was on stage in Vegas, and I was up for top 5 in New Zealand. I was number 5. And I got, what did I get? My top shelf, it's just gifts on gifts. Oh, you can't even see. Anyways, Arbonne likes to gift. And I was not a gift person before, but I would happily receive something for free. Don't we all? Yes, I was top 5 in New Zealand for preferred client signups. And I just know that there's a few of you here that is going to get that award next year in Vegas, and you're going to walk that stage. There are going to be new area managers from this group right now. I can feel it. You're going to walk that stage in Vegas. Let me just go back to Vegas. When I walked that stage, it was amazing. The whole backstage vibe. It's a whole production show. Put up your hand if you watched it live. Cool. If you didn't, that's a sign that you're going to come next year, right? Because you're going to watch it in person. Yeah, Arbonne really spoils everyone, honestly. Even the bags that we got, I gave my bag to my mum because it was like a clutch. I mean, not a clutch. It was like a purse, kind of. And I was like, there is no way I'm walking around Vegas with that with that purse, that creamed colored purse. No way. So I gave it to my mum. And then I went back the next day and I walked as so the first night it was in top 5, and then it was area manager, and then the third day I was a main stage speaker in front of thousands and thousands of people. And was I scared? Was I worried? No. Why? Because I knew I had put in the work. I didn't know that by changing my mindset in July last year, that I was going to be main stage speaker in Vegas. There are people in this business that have been here for like 30 plus years, and I met them at the parties as well, and they've never been asked once. But it was by shifting my mindset when I came home from Vegas and really focusing on my goals, on where I want to be. And let me tell you, being on that stage as a speaker was not on my vision board. But when the opportunity knocks on your door, I will definitely take it. And when it knocks on your door as well, it is your chance to really utilize it, because it is through that growth, your people will come to you as well. And I know it will, because I like to speak life into everyone. Yeah, Vegas was amazing, and my 9 to 5 is calling me. No, thank you, not today, Satan. So I'm part-time. I'm part-time now. Thankful that this opportunity gave me, first of all, the finances that I can opt for just 24 hours a week, not 40 hours. And now that I've seen the success that we have with Arbonne, I can't go back to full-time work. Someday I might have to, and I'm okay with that. But right now, it is not an option in my book, because AM is life-changing. Because I've been part-time for so long now, I'm just loving the time freedom. Now I know exactly when people talk about time freedom and financial freedom, I know exactly what they're talking about. And that's something that you cannot get back once that time is gone. Time with your kids. Like for me, I'm not a dad, but I go to my nieces and nephews' school productions, there's sports and things like that. And my poor siblings cannot go because obviously they're stuck at a job that they don't want to be at, but they can't get the time off. So Uncle Joe is there to save the day. But I can only imagine that when I'm a dad one day, having your child look for you in a crowd and you not being there, like you've seen those videos online, and then their confidence is just not there. But as soon as they see their parent, then they all sparkle and they're like, yes, I'm going to do this. That's one thing I do not want my kids to ever feel, is that I'm not there to see whatever that they're going to perform or a school sport. And now I'm doing that for my nieces and nephews, and my siblings thank me so much. And now they know and understand what an opportunity can do, because I've got the time freedom to do whatever I want. I'm that rich dad that travels, rich uncle that travels. You know, the rich auntie? Yeah, well, I'm the rich uncle that travels, and I come home with gifts and everything for my nieces and nephews, and my siblings are like, can you buy me a pair of shoes? Your time's over, you're too old now. But yeah, that's the gift of what Arbonne has given me, so much more. And to think that I was anti-money online kind of thing, I was, honestly, if you knew me beforehand, the old Joe with no personal growth, this was not for me. Arbonne is not for me. It was a big no. I was hit up. Oh, that's the ghetto in me. I'm from the ghetto in Hastings. I was asked about these other businesses, and I said, no, thank you. And even now that I'm in Arbonne, I've had so many people ask me to look at their business and their business models and trying to poach me to take me over there. But no one can replicate the community that we have here in Arbonne. If you have not experienced your first in-person event, you need to, because you need to meet the rest of us, because we are normal people, but we don't live averagely, because we are visionaries. We dream bigger, not just for ourselves, but for our kids, for our families, and we like to go first. And I know that all of you guys here on this call are going to be the first in your families or the first in your generations to really show our family what the gift of an opportunity can do, because that is what I'm doing in my family now. My extended family all are like, oh my gosh, you started Arbonne back then and, you know, we laughed at you, blah, 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 but now you're living this dream, traveling. AIT was a game changer for me. And congratulations, Emily, for earning Thailand. I was gunning for it, but I did not get it because why? Because I already had Hayman Islands and there was a whole story. I was like, well, I don't need Thailand. Next minute, I wanted Thailand so bad. Lesson learned, never stop your business. But yeah, I'm just loving my personal growth and what Arbonne has done for me, because it has honestly, hand on heart, changed my life. It has changed my mum's life as well. My mum's been on a product since I started this business and she's lost over 60 kgs. And she is a true image of, she is a product of the product. So I got my mum onto this business and she was like, my mum's 48. And she said, I'm not an influencer. I don't look like influencers these days. I don't have a network. On the night that I launched her, we came back home because it was an in-person event, and she was worried because no one had bought anything at her launch. And I said, Mum, it's a business launch. You're launching your business. The next thing you know, it was an hour into end of month, because it was the last day of the month. She went DM Qual in 20 minutes from her friends, from her that became clients, and you know, her doctor friends, her nurse friends, and now she has a stronger client base in skincare and makeup than I ever will have, because she's got a clientele that is, for me, it's higher caliber, if you know what I mean. Yeah, she's got doctors and nurses and lawyers on the skincare. And then I looked at her and I said, what do you think? She goes, oh my gosh, son, I cannot believe it. This is happening, rah, rah, rah. And I said, yeah, and that's 20 minutes into your business, Mum, and you've already gone DM. So she ended up being my first district manager, who gave me my E. And from then on, me and my mum are just growing. So yeah, you can just see what this business has done, not only for me, but for my family. My mum spends her Arbonne pay on gathering supplies for Samoa, and that's where she spends her money. For me, yeah, I do that as well, but then I'm like, I kind of like designer things as well. That's because I grew up in the poor era of my family. I was the firstborn and I was a lesson to my parents, and I had nothing. I had hand-me-downs and everything. Nothing wrong with it, because it made me the person that I am today. I'm grateful for everything that I have, but when you have that type of money that you can just swipe and go and not even have to check your app, like, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's the power of running an online business, is that you're not worried about things. And I want that feeling for you as well. Yes, Glenna, take all the vibes, because that's what I want you to be. And that's why I'm so passionate about this business. Yes, it is an effort-based business, but nothing comes free, right? You've got to put in the work to really get what you want out of it. And no one's going to save you in this business but you. Let me tell you that. And there will be a day where you are sitting on this side of the Zoom, speaking to your nation, speaking life into many people that have felt the change within you. Your leadership is going to pour through the screen, and you're going to be such a great leader for many people to come. You have an amazing leader, Emily, at the top. Her momentum is fire, and I love that. And I love that you all have a strong leader. When I started this business, my sponsor went out. Her sponsor went out. Her sponsor went out. And I felt like I was at the bottom of the food chain and no one to connect to. But you know what? I chose to stay. And if I had chosen to leave, I would not have had everything that I have right now. I wouldn't have spoken on main stage in Vegas. I would not have spent 4 amazing days at a 5-star resort on Arbonne's dime in the Hayman Islands. I would not have had the success with changing people's lives, that some of them are just randoms off Instagram that are now called close friends, and I'm helping change their lives as well. And I know that you guys are going to do the exact same thing for many people watching your journey as well. So wherever you may be in your business, if you feel stuck, if you feel like you've depleted your network, there are always ways to overcome those hurdles and boundaries. But it is up to you whether you are going to choose to grow through the storm you are going through and then get to the other side and then carry on running. So that's all from me. I hope that helped you in some kind of way. If you have any questions, let me know. But I cannot wait to see district managers, areas, RVPs and NVPs birthed from this very Zoom tonight.
Oh my gosh, Joe, you're freaking amazing. I hope you guys have all taken so much from that. I've taken a lot from it too. I've taken some notes. I feel like we are always learning in this business. So yeah, thank you so much for your time.
No
and I also just want
worries.
to add something with Joe. What he said is that his uplines left. Like Pearl Williams is my next upline. I think she started like 4 years in front of me. My upline has gone too. Like if your upline's gone, like do it anyway. Find your sideline brothers or sisters. Like you can make this work. And I'm so glad that Pearl Williams reached out to me. I'm always so grateful for you. We're going to be another 5 minutes because I really just want to like touch on something to make this, like put some things into action. So if you have a pen and paper, definitely pop it down. And it's gonna... All right, see you, Glenda. So leveling up, a goal for this week is everyone to really double, triple, or 10x the amount of asks and invites that you're currently doing. And, like the more follow-ups you're doing, the more asks, the more invites. And just know that we are all going to make mistakes and none of us are immune to this. And like the best thing, but it's actually the best thing that's going to grow your business is making mistakes. So I'm pretty sure you might have seen me screenshot some of the first texts I sent 2 years ago. If you haven't seen them, I'm going to put them in Vibe Nation. You literally have to scroll like this to read them. They are so embarrassing. I pretty much told the whole Discover Arbonne in a text in an invite. Like, okay, so you just have to learn. And honestly, like I've just learned from just jumping right in and doing it and making mistakes. And every time I make a mistake, I go again. And people will watch you. They'll watch your journey. They will watch you continue to grow. And they'll be like, okay, cool. Like she's obviously learned how to do it better and she's still going. So I'm going to be really blunt with this next part. If you're not getting the results you want, that's highly coming down to you're probably not talking to enough people or you aren't making it a priority, okay? So we need to come from a place where you 100% know how you can help that person. And if you're feeling pushy, you don't understand the bigger picture of how you can help them and you don't understand how, like, what's in it for them. And honestly, it really comes down to believing in what we have in our hands. And we have so much in our hands. Like you just heard Joe speak for half an hour about it. It's insane. Okay. And also this is one thing that I'm going to like switch your headset right. Okay. If you have someone in your team telling you they don't have enough time, I want you to turn back and tell them they're not making it a priority. Okay, there's a difference. Like everyone makes time for something in their life. Okay, so if you can watch Netflix for 30 minutes, you can do this business. If you can scroll on TikTok or Instagram, you can do this business. If you can sleep in, get up earlier, you can do this business. And if you can get your nails done, you can do this business. Okay, if you can make time for luxury appointments, you can make time for this. So you just need to see the bigger picture. Okay, I'm going to skip a little bit because I've gone over, but the boards app has got, like, I've literally broken it down. It's like the top section and broken it down to like 5 sections of what to do every day. It's so simple. And we've got so much on this week. So like Wednesday night, I think Galena's got something at her house. Wednesday night, Haley and I are running Discover Arbonne. Friday night, there's a Discover Arbonne at my house. Saturday, we've got Simran and Haley and I running one in Auckland. If I've missed anything, pop it in Vibe Nation, because there's so much we can invite to. Like, this team we have got momentum. We are all in activity. I'm so proud of everyone on this team. Katie's meeting someone for a Discover Arbonne tomorrow. Like, seriously, everyone's in so much action. It's so exciting. Okay. Last part is, I want you to turn, if you think you're pushy, turn it into being professional. You're not pushy, you have solutions. And also, working appointment to appointment isn't being pushy, it's being professional. Okay, so what we're going to do is, hold the phone. So one thing I actually didn't write, which I need to say because it's so true. You all need to be the #1 player in your business, because there's a rough estimate that whatever you are doing, your team is doing half. So if you actually think about what activity you're doing in your business, if your team is doing half and you're doing hardly anything, your team's probably doing nothing. Your team's going to follow you. So we need to lead from the front. So put a 1 in the chat if you're ready to level the freak up. I'm going to type what? To level up your businesses. Okay, awesome. I love the ones in the chat. So guys, the goal for this week, there's no incentives. Like, I'm not going to incentivize this. You just have to want to do it to build your business. I want you to all 10x what you're doing. Okay, if this means leaving the washing till Sunday, if this means, like, you know, cut the scrolling, if this means, like, you know, just freaking make it a priority. Get up earlier, stay up later, make it a priority. And I want you to see how much more traction you'll get in your business. And you'll, like, the more customers coming in, the more consultants coming in, and take it from a place where you are going to help them. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording